Okay, picture this. A military intelligence secret kept totally locked down for 70 years. Then you wake up one morning and the vault doors are just wide open. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the ultimate digital dossier. We're going to look strictly at the data, the documents, and the undeniable facts around the sudden declassification of the Pentagon UFO files on May 8th, 2026. Yesterday, it was highly classified. Today, we have the raw data. So here's our game plan, straight from the FBI Case 62-HQ-83894 dossier index. We've got four main areas today. First, the May 2026 declassification. Then, impossible physics and hotspots. Third, the decades-long cover-up. And finally, what happens next. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the May 2026 declassification. Or, as we should probably call it, the drop that completely broke the internet. 162, that is the exact number of highly classified UFO files that were just suddenly dropped into the public domain on May 8th. And look, we're not talking about blurry secondhand accounts here. We are talking about 162 pieces of hard, documented military intelligence that were kept completely in the dark until the Pentagon released the whole batch on a single day. And you know what's truly mind-bending about this release? It's the unprecedented access. No clearance required. Literally anyone, anywhere, could suddenly see exactly what the government saw. I mean, for generations, getting your hands on this level of intelligence required top-secret, compartmentalized security clearances, right? It was strictly for the highest echelons of military operators and intelligence analysts. But on May 8th, that barrier just vanished. Everyday citizens were suddenly granted access to view raw, unredacted history right alongside the world's top generals. Moving right along to Section 2, Impossible Physics and Hotspots. Let's look at these global anomalies. These documents map out rapid-fire sightings all over the globe. We aren't tracking one weird, isolated incident. This is a planetary and, honestly, off-planet phenomenon. Over the western United States, military tracking shows an object with completely unexplained movement. Over in Greece, their instruments caught a craft doing sharp, 90-degree turns while traveling at 80 miles per hour. In the skies over Syria, operators actually documented large orbs actively firing smaller orbs. And perhaps the most astonishing one? On the moon, during the Apollo 17 mission back in December 1972, astronauts reported a flash, followed by three distinct white lights hovering in a triangular formation directly above the lunar surface. Now let's take a closer look at that Western U.S. anomaly. The files show it was recorded using an infrared HUD. That's a military-grade thermal tracking heads-up display. Pilots and operators use this specific tech to capture heat signatures and raw flight data, like altitude and speed in pitch-black conditions. So this isn't just someone's eyes playing tricks on them in the dark. This is cold, undeniable data. It tracks thermal blobs against a black sky, giving us literal mathematical proof of an object's presence and its movements. And the absolute most crucial takeaway here is the stark contrast. When you put these reported UFO behaviors like pulling sharp 90-degree turns at 80 miles per hour in midair up against the strict limitations of known Earth aircraft, there's just no contest. No aircraft on Earth can explain these movements. The physics involved in making a 90-degree turn at those speeds without decelerating would literally tear apart any known human-engineered chassis, let alone the pilot inside. The data explicitly shows impossible physics playing out right in our skies. Which brings us to Section 3, the decades-long cover-up, buried for 70 years. When you trace the roots of this secrecy, you uncover a massive, sprawling timeline. This intelligence gathering didn't just start yesterday. It goes all the way back to 1947, tracking anomalies over Cold War Germany and mapping out Soviet hotspots. It extends right through the space race, peaking with that chilling Apollo 17 lunar sighting in December 1972. And then, just a vast stretch of silence, right up until the massive declassification drop on May 8th, 2026. For over 7 decades, across multiple generations and administrations, all of this information was kept entirely out of public view. And sitting right in the center of this historical web of secrecy is one specific designation, FBI Case 62-HQ-83894. This file was buried for decades. It represents something the intelligence community flat out did not want the public to read. Up until now, it was basically a ghost in the archives, just a numeric code masking unknown intelligence. Honestly, diving into these 162 files is like watching history unredact itself in real time. You've got black bars literally lifting off old FBI memos, top secret folders exploding open for the world to see. We are talking about actual Cold War-era maps glowing with tracked hotspots and official high-resolution photos from the lunar surface, permanently branded with stark stamps reading unresolved. It is genuinely amazing to see what 70 years of highly coordinated bureaucratic denial actually looks like when it's suddenly, unceremoniously dumped onto the internet as a massive batch of PDFs. Okay, let's wrap things up with Section 4. What happens next? The rolling declassification. Now, before we look forward, we have to ground ourselves in absolute reality here. As the files themselves point out, none of these files prove we're alone, but none of them prove we are either. As an explainer of this source material, it's absolutely vital we remain strictly impartial. These files do not conclusively validate the existence of alien life, but what they do validate is that highly advanced unexplained phenomena have been operating in our airspace and off-planet, totally defying our understanding of physics, and the government has known about it since 1947. These files leave us suspended in this state of profound data-driven ambiguity. So, how do we navigate this? Well, the Pentagon actually laid out the next steps explicitly. Step 1 is exactly what we're doing right now, analyzing this first tranche of 162 files. But Step 2 is where the tension truly builds. The Pentagon has stated on the record that more files are coming. This is a rolling declassification. Every few weeks, a new batch of secrets will be dropped. We are currently just sitting in the calm before the next storm of intelligence. Think about that. We know they knew. We know they hid it for 70 years. And we know that what we are looking at today is only the very first tranche. The question isn't if there's more information out there. The real question is, are you ready for what's next? Keep your eyes on the data, stay curious, and we'll see you for the next explainer when the next vault door opens.